Tuesday, and Smith had been the leading kick returner for the Falcons as Nick Mickemeyer will kick off for the white-shirted Buffalo Bills. The crowd is primed. Who expected these teams to be where they are as we move into the second half of the season? And we're ready for the kickoff here in Orchard Park, New York. And Anderson will field a kick 4 yards in his end zone. And he's hit hard at about the 17-yard line by an aroused Buffalo kick team, Scott Hutchinson, and so the Falcons will go on offense. An offensive line that has been awfully tough. Mike Ken is on the verge of all-pro status. Two tough men in the backfield. Lynn Kane and William Andrews have gained over 1,000 yards between them. Junior Miller, the fine rookie tight end, and the quarterback Steve Bartkowski, who threw 17 touchdown passes last year, has 15 right now. 1st and 10 at the 18, and in motion comes Wallace Francis. And the give is to Kane. Kane gets to the 22-yard line. Good yardage, Shane Nelson. The linebacker makes the tackle. And let's look at the Buffalo Bills on defense. Like the Falcons, they like the 3-4. Fred Smerlas, very tough nose tackle. Ben Williams is having a superb season as a pass rusher. And they have outstanding linebackers, including Jim Haslett, number 55, one to watch. And the secondary, a great story with Bill Simpson, number 45, who came out of retirement. Second and a long 3 for Bartkowski. Up the middle and close to a first down is Andrews. And that's the 1-2 combination. Shane Nelson again on the stop. And they're close to a first down, and they have a first down.
Dick, Shane Nelson, the man in there on the tackle. They refer to the 3-4 of the Buffalo Bills defensively as the Bermuda Triangle, and they said it's going to be severely tested here this afternoon against the Atlanta Falcons because Atlanta pounds it up the middle often.
1st and 10 at the 29-yard line. Andrews was the blocking back for Cribbs at Auburn, but he didn't really know him, as he revealed yesterday. They were almost strangers, despite being on the same team. 1st and 10 at the 29. Junior Miller, the tight end, in motion. Going to the air for the first time. Bartkowski out of the backfield is Andrews. Bobbled it, but held on and gets to the 35 before Jim Haslett, in his second year from Indiana, Pennsylvania, makes the stop.
Good defense that time by the secondary of the Buffalo Bills. So Bartkowski went to the checkoff man. That's what you try to do, is isolate the back on the linebacker just sliding out of the backfield. And it's a second down for the Atlanta Falcons on the move, their initial possession. Bartkowski 1 for 1 in the passing department.
Alfred Jenkins wide to the left. Francis split to the right. In motion comes Francis. First back through. Andrews is piled up at the line. Jim Haslett once more, and as Jim talked about that Bermuda Triangle of Smerlas, Haslett, and Shane Nelson, Ben Williams made the stop, but if that nose tackle Smerlas can clog things up, it opens things up for other players, Jim.
Dick, he is the key, the nose tackle, sometimes referred to as the sacrificial lamb. Smerlas, a good one, a second-year man from Boston College, 6'3", 270, the key in the 3-4 defense for the Buffalo Bills.
Mike Kadish, number 71, who alternates with Smerlas at nose tackle, is in there now as a 4th lineman, and Russ McKeska, number 87, is a tight end. 2 tight ends for the Falcons at 3rd and 2 at the 37. And here's Kane trying to go outside, and Lynn Kane has a first down and out of bounds at the 41-yard line, forced out there by Mario Clark.
Dick, they had a shot at him in the backfield before he turned the corner. There you see the book on Lynn Kane so far this year.
2 actually fullbacks in college, Kane and Andrews. Kane was blocking for Charles White. And Andrews, they're tough inside runners. They don't have the outstanding outside speed, but they don't really need it because they get the tough inside yardage and the line blocks for them. 1st and 10 at the 41. And here's Kane cutting inside, showing moves, and Lynn Kane picks up at least 6, maybe 7 yards before the free safety Bill Simpson, number 45, makes the stop. So a look at Lynn Kane, who's 5th in the NFC. He has scored 4 touchdowns and has been a starter since mid-season of last year.
He's kind of the grinded out variety. He averages about 3.5 yards every time he catches or touches the football. And his longest run from scrimmage, 14 yards.
It'll be 2nd and 3, and this is a quarterback's delight for Bartkowski, who's 1 for 1. Andrews. Doesn't get anywhere, and Sherman White, in fact, the front three combined to make the stop. Sherman White, the best pass rusher along with Ben Williams, reported to camp late, but he's a physical specimen. Former #1 draft choice by the Cincinnati Bengals in his 9th year out of the University of California. It'll be 3rd and 3, no gain. The ball for the Atlanta Falcons at their own 48-yard line. Opening minutes here at Rich Stadium.
Dick, last time on 3rd and short, they went wide with Lynn Kane right out to the right side. This would be a good blitzing down for the Buffalo Bills. Again, the 3-4, and now Bartkowski wants to talk things over.
And an unusual timeout early in the ball game. You'd like to save them for late in the first half, but Bartkowski obviously feels that at 3rd and 3, this could be a big series, though it be the opening series for the Atlanta Falcons. 10:55 remaining in the first quarter, no score here at Orchard Park.
First score of the afternoon, a safety. A bad punt snap by the Green Bay Packers, recovered in the end zone for a touchdown, and the Steelers, who have lost 3 in a row, first time that's happened since '76, off to a quick 2-0 lead.
All right, big 3rd and 3 now at the 48-yard line for the Falcons. They've controlled the ball since the opening moments. Nearly 4 minutes right now, and in 3rd and 3, Lynn Kane going wide. He has Andrews blocking, cuts in, and is close to a first down. Penalty marker down, however. He looked like he was going to make it, but Shane Nelson and Jim Haslett came up strong from the inside linebacker position and holding against Atlanta. And a big penalty will set them way back.
Obvious break for the Buffalo Bills, Dick. R.C. Thielman, Warren Bryant on the right side, doing a pretty good job of blocking for the Atlanta Falcons. That's the second time they have run that exact same play on 3rd and short.
And they had the first down where they placed the ball at the 49. So not only do the Falcons not get the first down.
Holding, offense, number 66.
That's Warren Bryant, 4th-year player from Kentucky and one of the 2 #1 draft choices on that offensive line for the Falcons. So it's now 3rd and 13 at the 38-yard line. Mike Kadish comes in as a 4th lineman up front, and Rufus Best is a 5th defensive back.
That holding is why Bryant was doing such a good job.
That's right. 3rd and 13. Bartkowski. His receivers covered well, and the pass, penalty marker down. It was intended for Wallace Francis, incomplete, and covering on the play was the safety Bill Simpson. But let's see what that penalty is, and apparently it's against Buffalo. Early preliminary indications say that.
Offside against the Buffalo Bills. So that will still not be enough for the first down. However, the Falcons will get another shot after Bartkowski threw the ball a little high. Francis was open. He split the seam down about midfield.
Bartkowski is finally a settled quarterback. He has been injured throughout most of his career. He is more stable now, more patient. He used to feel he had to drill the ball.
Defense lined up in the neutral zone.
Ben Williams, encroachment, you may want to call it, lining up in the neutral zone. So now Bartkowski with still another chance at 3rd and about 8.
Steve, not the up-and-down quarterback of recent years. Falcons used to win games primarily on their defense. Now they do it with a balance of good defense and a balanced offense.
And so do the Bills. That's why these teams are quite similar. 3rd down and 8 for Bartkowski. He's got enough time, and his pass to Lynn Kane, and it's complete. Lynn Kane catches a good low catch at the 46-yard line. Isaiah Robertson covering. Kane made a fine play. And it'll be an Atlanta first down, and they still keep possession.
Just a simple down and out. Lynn Kane, number 21. You see him loop out of the backfield right there. Goes down about 12, 13 yards. Squares out to the left side. And watch the shoe top kept right there, right in front of the Buffalo bench. And it's a first down for the Falcons.
Back to the 3-4 for the Bills. 1st and 10. Atlanta at the Buffalo 45. Nearly 5 minutes gone by. First quarter here at Rich Stadium. Kane can't go anywhere. Maybe a yard on the play, and that's all.
Falcons not having a great deal of success going up the middle against the 3-4, the Buffalo Bills, when they have run well so far this afternoon. And again, it's early. They have done it wide to the right side and also over the passing arm of Steve Bartkowski. A couple of more scores now. Kansas City has just gone out in front over the Baltimore Colts with a field goal by Nick Lowry of 27 yards. The Chiefs on top 3-0 there, and San Diego 7-0 over Cincinnati. Mike Thomas, a 7-yard run for the Chargers.
Both wide receivers now split right. 2nd and 7 at the 42. Coming in motion towards you is Kane. And Francis looking for a hole. He has it. Francis has a first down. Check that, Andrews. William Andrews, a first down at the 33-yard line before Simpson and Lucius Sanford, the linebacker, makes the stop. Good move by William Andrews.
And from the end zone now, watch 78 Mike Ken, the left tackle, number 70 Dave Scott, the left guard, and the hole that they opened up for William Andrews, number 31, second-year running back out of Auburn. And he is coming off another 100-yard performance last week against the Los Angeles Rams.
They like that Mike Ken. He's in his third year, number 1 pick in 78 from Michigan. Alfred Jackson, number 85, the big play receiver, is in the game, replacing Wallace Francis for the Falcons. First and 10 at the 32. Play action for Bartkowski. Getting a rush, and Junior Miller is there, but it's in. Robertson, who laterals to Mario Clark. Check that. Charles Romes. Romes still has it, and he's down at the 35-yard line. Sherman White put the rush on Bartkowski, underthrew to Junior Miller. It was picked off. And alert lateral. And the Bills have it.
From the end zone now, watch Bartkowski as he looks. Look how open Junior Miller appears to be. The ball is underthrown, and right spot at the right time, Isaiah Robertson. Now here's the key. Otherwise, they start first and 10 from their own 7. Laterals the ball off to Charles Rome, the 4-year back from North Carolina Central. So the Bills, who had gone, Dick, almost half of the first quarter without touching the football, have first and 10.
When you've got to rely on your vehicles, rely on AC Delco. AC fire ring spark plugs, AC filters, Delco shocks, and a battery even tougher than the Freedom. The maintenance-free Delco Freedom 2 battery with more efficient starting power. For over 50 years, hard-working people have relied on AC Delco parts for just about anything that moves.
AC Delco, working hard for you.
And right now, AC Delco is making it possible for you to get the Delco Freedom 2 battery on sale at participating outlets.
It's knowing you depend on us. We're gonna solve your problems, yeah, we understand. It's knowing Avis tries so hard, we'll always be right there to lend a helping hand.
Yeah, Avis takes the worry out of renting cars, no matter where the road may wind. At Avis you're leaving your worries behind.
Live, undefeated champion Hilmer Kenny blasts away with Villamar Fernandez for the WBA Lightweight Championship. Next Saturday, 4:30 Eastern on the CBS Sports Spectacular.
We're back, in the Buffalo Bills with 8:26 remaining in the first quarter have the ball on their 36-yard line after Isaiah Robertson's second interception of the year. And that's experience as he alertly lateral to Charles Romes brought it back up to the 36. First and 10, Joe Ferguson, number 12, the quarterback. In motion is Frank Lewis. And the first pass, Jerry Butler. And Butler has a first down in Atlanta territory. Joe Ferguson, 58% completions, 9 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions. And Jerry Butler, last year's AFC top rookie, the reception.
Take a look now as if you're the secondary of the Atlanta Falcons. Look how much room number 37, Kenny Johnson, gives him. That's the rookie from Mississippi State. Again, the linebacking core. 3 rookies for the Atlanta Falcons. And the second-year man, Joel Williams, had the big game against the Rams last week.
19-yard pickup. So it's first and 10 now at the Falcon 48-yard line. Curtis Brown, number 47, Joe Cribbs, number 20, are the running backs. Lewis in motion again. And a play-action pass. Fake to Cribbs. And they're going to go deep for Butler, and it's overthrown. He got tripped up on his own devices. He was covered back there by Kenny Johnson, but it was a good pass, and he just lost his footing. They try to get the big 6 in a hurry.
Boy, the look on Joe Ferguson's face right there tells it all. Excellent pass protection that time by the Buffalo Bills offensive front 5. Take another look now. You're looking at Ferguson and the frustration. And again, they're working on the rookie from Mississippi State, Kenny Johnson, number 37, giving him all kinds of room. Look how badly beaten Jerry Butler does right there. He's got a good 6 yards on him, and he just trips over his own feet down about the 5-yard line, otherwise a quick 6.
And Jim, you see what the presence of Joe Cribbs does. It froze the defense right there, and they were able to use him as a decoy on that play. Second and 10 at the 48. Butler, number 80, Lewis, 82, the wide receivers, and Joe Cribbs carries for the first time, gets a few yards. Loose ball. Bob Glazebrook, former linebacker with Oakland, now the strong safety for the Falcons, number 36, makes the stop. Joe Cribbs, second in rushing in the AFC with 608 yards, also leads the Bills in pass receiving.
Take another look at Joe Cribbs, the outstanding rookie out of Auburn University, and watch the loose football, as Dick called it for you, because Joe Cribbs already has coughed it up a total of 8 times this year. The NFL record for running backs fumbling the ball was 15. That was set by the Cardinals' Terry Metcalf back in '76.
3 wide receivers now. Cribbs goes into the slot. Ron Jesse, number 81, is in there. Roland hooks as well. The pass over the middle. And wide open for a first down at the 22 is Ron Jesse, the veteran, and a penalty marker down as well where the reception was.
Take a look at how wide open it is. Joe Ferguson right on target all afternoon. Here's the preliminary indication. Personal foul against the Falcons. So a big gain. In fact, the first down for the Buffalo Bills will hurt the Falcons even more.
And that's the first catch of the year for Ron Jesse, 10-year player from Kansas, came over from the LA Rams. Let's pick it up from Chuck Heberling, the referee.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 37. First down.
It was Kenny Johnson, number 37.
A little frustrated, I think.
Yeah, the beleaguered cornerback. We saw him in the opening game of the season when Ahmad Rashad did a tune on him. First and 10 at the 11-yard line. 2 tight ends. Mark Kramer, number 86, is in there, as well as Reuben Gant, 88. First and 10. The Bills are threatening here with 6:46 to go in the first quarter. Play action. Ferguson to the air. And a touchdown. Frank Lewis, touchdown. And the Buffalo Bills are on the board. And that's 3 touchdown passes from Ferguson to Lewis in the last 2 weeks, and the crowd loves it.
And Dick, how quickly they take advantage of that Isaiah Robertson interception, the 15th Buffalo Bill INT on the season. Let's take another look at that touchdown toss by Joe Ferguson. Number 12, again, they freeze the linebackers, the 3-4 defense of the Falcons. Fake to Cribbs up the middle, and watch how open Lewis is in the end zone right there. Touchdown, Buffalo goes up on top 6-0, and to try to make it 7, following that interception by Isaiah Robertson.
Mickemeyer will attempt the point after. David Hum will hold. Mickemeyer has missed just 1 conversion this year. He's 21 for 22, and the Buffalo Bills have drawn the first blood here. It's 7-0 following the interception and the lateral. The touchdown pass, Ferguson to Frank Lewis. It's 7-0, the Bills lead.
Motorcraft, for sure. Motorcraft, for sure.
How do you make the great lineup of Motorcraft parts even better? You've already got batteries with sure power, hot-firing spark plugs, and a full line of filters. So how do you make it better? Just add oil. Introducing Motorcraft Oil, formulated to stabilize oxidation and reduce wear. Rated SF, it meets the most advanced engineering standards set for the 80s. You can be sure of it.
Motorcraft, for sure.
Outside, the Canon NP200 may look like any small copier, but inside there's a world of difference, a world of micronics,
where 20 copies a minute are not only possible, but made reliable with a microcomputer. Fiber optics precisely defines your image, and a toner projection system gives you clear copies on virtually any paper.
Up to 11 by 17. Compact in size and price, the Canon NP200 is definitely worth looking into.
Dracula's coming to New York, and his style is irresistible. George Hamilton and Susan St. James star in Love at First Bite, Wednesday night. Good evening.
Nick Mickemeyer will kick off for the Bills. They lead at 7-0, and Anthony Anderson, number 33, who came over from the Pittsburgh Steelers on waivers, will receive this kick at the 2-yard line. Has trouble finding the handle. Anthony Anderson tries to squeeze his way beyond the 10. He manages to get to the 14-yard line where Doug Green, number 21, a defensive back. As you look at the scoring drive, didn't take Buffalo long to go 65 yards. Frank Lewis, touchdown reception, is his 5th of the year to lead the club.
A couple of more scores. Ricky Bell, a touchdown run of 21 yards. The Buccaneers on top over the New York Giants. 6:38 gone in quarter number 1 in Tampa Bay. The Lions have grabbed a quick 7-0 lead over San Francisco. Gary Danielson passing to Billy Sims, 41 yards. Lions 7-zip against the 49ers.
At the 15, 1st and 10 for Bartkowski and the Falcons. Kane in motion away. Both wide receivers to the left. Andrews cuts inside, gets some good yardage. up to the 20-yard line before Sherman White makes the tackle. As we mentioned at the outset, you're looking at the top two defenses in the league against the rush. Atlanta's number 1, Buffalo's number 2. No surprise that Ferguson went to the air in that series.
No question about it. And again, he worked on the rookie from Mississippi State, Kenny Johnson, number 37, who is in for a long afternoon. They're going to have some defensive adjustments and make some changes there. Otherwise, this game could get out of hand rather quickly.
Gain of 5, 2nd and 5 at the 20. First back through, Andrews gets a couple, so it'll be 3rd and short as Ben Williams, the other defensive end, makes the stop. Jim Haslett as well. Haslett, number 55, was the top defensive rookie in the league last year.
You remember that touchdown pass, Gary Danielson to Billy Sims, 41 yards. The next kickoff, right? James Owens for the 49ers goes 101 yards. They're tied 7-all.
Wow, exciting. So that's a game, of course, Detroit needs to win to stay ahead of the pursuers. The Chicago Bears play tomorrow, but Green Bay surprisingly tied with Tampa Bay. 3rd and 1. 4 down linemen, 2 tight ends for the Falcons, and Bartkowski calls his own number and apparently has a first down. We'll check to see where they spot it. Not a bad call, Jim.
Well, you don't risk the handoff. Bartkowski turns around and looks at the referee. Of course, the key is where they spot it. Charles Rones, number 26, as you take another look at it, he thought the defense got in there and stopped him. He tries to go up and over on the right side, and if they mark his forward progress, it should be enough for a first down. He picked up at least a yard. Another score in from that Baltimore-Kansas City game. Burt Jones has just passed 18 yards to Reese McCall. The Colts are now out in front of Kansas City by a score of 7-3.
So here's the measurement. And it's a Buffalo first, it is an Atlanta first down as you look at Buffalo's defense. Only the 3rd meeting between the clubs. If you're surprised that this stadium is not sold out, or upwards of 70,000, is that the Falcons are not a familiar rival to the Buffalo fans. They've met previously 73 and in 77, and Buffalo won both those games. 1st and 10 now, under 5 minutes to play first quarter. Bartkowski has the Falcons at their own 30-yard line. Bills lead at 7-0. And a quick pass. Lynn Kane. An alert defense by the Buffalo Bills. He didn't get far. Steve Freeman, the strong safety, who had 2 interceptions against New England, his first 2 of the year, as you look at San Diego opening up a first quarter score over Cincinnati.
Rolf Panushka, 40-yard field goal. That makes it 10-0. The Chargers on the rebound after that humbling experience at the hands of the Dallas Cowboys last week. They had a 24-14 halftime edge, San Diego did, and then the Cowboys exploded in the second half.
2nd and 4, Wallace Francis 89, split way to the left. Alfred Jenkins 84 to the right. At the 31-yard line, Andrews bucks ahead and spins off for maybe a yard. It'll be 3rd and short yardage, perhaps 2.5 for the Falcons. And thus far, it seems apparent that the Falcons have not been able to run against the Buffalo Bills defense.
Again, that Bermuda Triangle effect of the 3-4 of the Buffalo Bills defense, doing the job they have to do inside. When the Falcons have had success running in the first quarter, it's been generally to the right side and it's been wide.
Jeff Van Note, 57, the 12-year veteran, the center, but they've got a lot of 3 to 5-year veterans on that line, and the Falcons think that they're going to develop. Ken, of course, we already know about. Dave Scott has been inconsistent. Thielman and Bryant on the other side. 3rd and 3 at the 32. Kane looking for a hole, nowhere, and Sherman White, number 83 makes the stop for a loss, and now Atlanta will have to kick. So Bartkowski continues to move the ball on the ground, and the Bills are equal to the task.
Number 83, you look at him right there, Sherman White, the 9-year veteran from California, 6'5", 250, came leaping through and forced the Falcons into a punting situation. Only the second time, by the way, that the Bills will touch the football here in the first quarter. We've got about, well, we're under 3 minutes now left to go in the first quarter after Buffalo had gone 65 yards in just 5 plays for their leading touchdown.
Joe Cribbs is back at the 30-yard line, the leading punt return man, and John James at the 15-yard line. 2:40 remaining in the first quarter. James has averaged 38.5 yards. High kick, good for coverage. And it takes an Atlanta bounce, and it's down there at the 35-yard line. Frank Reed, so the Buffalo Bills will take over. Both teams tied for first place. The Bulls trying to win their 7th and 9. After that 35-yard punt, they'll take over 1st and 10.
Soup Automotive Values from Sears.
Get power to start. Get power to spare. Get the Sears 48. Now only $44.99 with trade-in, our lowest price of the year. You save $10. The Road Handler tires are on sale. Save 20% on Sears Best Radio for large or small cars, like the Road Handler for compact cars, as low as $34.36 each. At Sears, where America shops for value.
Company's coming, so save at Sears pre-holiday home improvement sale. Get this Craftsman gas chainsaw that's lightweight yet powerful. Now $189.98 including case. Save $45. This Sears Best Craftsman 10-inch table saw, miters, bevels, rips, and crosscuts, and has a motor that develops 2 horsepower. Now $299.99 with leg set and extensions. Save $120. On sale now at Sears, where America shops for value.
See the cheerleaders go from the sidelines to the front lines in the battle of the NFL cheerleaders. Next Saturday, 4:30 Eastern on the CBS Sports Spectacular.
Dick Stockton and Jim Kelly from Rich Stadium in Orchard Park, New York. The Bills have the ball at the 36-yard line, 1st and 10, and leading the Falcons 7-0. Frank Lewis, who caught the touchdown pass, wide right, and Jerry Butler split to the left. Long count by Ferguson, and here is the fullback, bobbled it, and then is thrown for a loss. Buddy Curry caught Curtis Brown, who did the smart thing by making sure he had possession of the ball. Forget about the yardage, and Curtis Brown, carrying for the first time in the game, second in rushing on the club with 230 yards, is stopped for a loss. Reggie McKenzie playing in his 125th consecutive regular season game. He was a great blocker for O.J. Simpson. Doing the same for Joe Cribbs, who, of course, leading the Bills in just about everything. And these are Ferguson's statistics thus far this year. He's the Bills' career passing leader in every category except for interception. 2nd and 14. After that loss, Lewis in motion. The ball at the 32-yard line. And a play-action pass, an effective one. And the pass drilled and complete to Jerry Butler, and a first down at the 48-yard line. And Ferguson rifled that to Jerry Butler, who got open downfield. And that's what Ferguson has been doing so far in this game, a 17-yard pickup.
Dick, as you take another look, did he look at any other direction other than Kenny Johnson, 37, again, the rookie from Mississippi State? He's got him all the way, finds his receiver right there. Again, just goes down about 15 yards, a simple square-out pattern. Johnson laying about 5 yards off the ball and the wide receiver. First down, Buffalo. They're on the move again. We've got to change it.
An injured player being taken off the field. We'll check that for you in a moment. Looks like it might be Mike Zealy, number 63. That's who it is, the nose tackle. Second year from Kent State and a 5th-round draft choice last year. So it's 1st and 10 now for the Bills, who so far are passing at will against the Falcons. They're at their own 49-yard line. Just over a minute remaining in the first quarter. Frank Lewis comes in motion. Cribbs looking for room, gets nothing, and good force play by the strong safety Bob Glazebrook, number 36, who had help along with Jeff Yates, number 79. Jeff Yates, veteran from Boston College, who's from Tonawanda, New York, playing for the Atlanta Falcons.
Some heated tempers down there about the midfield stripe. Reggie McKenzie, number 67, is in at left guard. Tim Vogler, number 65, is out. The second-year man from Ohio State there, checking to a hamstring injury now on Mr. Vogler. Falcons must be concerned, I think, Dick. Lehman Bennett told us before the game that his team has never played especially well following a big emotional win. That's certainly what they had last week against the Rams. And after the interception, they appear to be a little flat.
2nd and 8 at the 49-yard line. And the pitch goes to Brown. Brown cuts inside, has open field. He has a first down and more. And Curtis Brown is trapped inside the 20-yard line at the 19 before Al Richardson, the linebacker, makes the stop. And what we're seeing right now is Joe Ferguson mixing his plays beautifully, using Cribbs as a decoy, drilling the passes, and watch this run by Curtis Brown.
Will Grant, Conrad Dobler, Joe Devlin over on the right side opened up the big hole. Brown rambles down for big yardage. Another Buffalo Bill first down inside the 20-yard line. Big hole over there on the right side. And Ferguson mixing up his plays perfectly.
And Jerry Butler with a good block. The wide receiver with a superb block. That's the end of the first quarter. Buffalo leading and driving against the Falcons here before a delighted throng at Rich Stadium.
Lincoln Mercury introduces the totally new Lynx.
Its hemispherical head engine, advanced transmission, and aerodynamic shape combine to produce exceptional fuel efficiency. Starting today, the world belongs to an American car. Starting today, the world belongs to Lynx.
I make one trick shot in a light beer commercial, and everybody thinks they know how to shoot pool. So these guys decided to take me on to shoot a little pool and drink a little light beer from Miller. Because it's less filling.
That's great!
Less filling.
Let's quit talking and start chalking.
You break, Bubba.
Sure, I haven't broken anything all day.
Hey, Mickey, what happened?
It's a mystery to me.
You show him, Rodney.
Yeah, show him.
You guys got me all wrong. I think light tastes great, too. But when you're shooting pool, the only thing you want to get filled up is the pot. 14 6-ball combination.
Steve, how do you do that?
Practice, practice, practice.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
The NFL on CBS. Today's game is sponsored by Ford Trucks. The trucks built Ford tough and built for fuel economy. And by Light Beer. Everything you always wanted in a beer and less.
Stockton and Jim Kelly, and that's what Ferguson has done thus far. 1st and 10 at the 19, and as Jim has accurately pointed out, they have worked on Kenny Johnson, the cornerback. Hasn't gone to Rollin Lawrence's side at all. Let's see what happens here. 7-0 Bills. Ferguson goes to the other side to Butler, out of bounds. Rollin Lawrence forced him out of bounds, but a good play.
Dick, you know the stats on Joe Ferguson. He's now 5 out of 6 in the passing department. Just a quick turnout there for Butler. Great speed, number 80, the second-year man out of Clemson. He would have had another touchdown, except that Butler fell down after he had beaten Kenny Johnson down about the 5-yard line. So he could be 6 out of 6 right now.
Mark Bramer, number 86, who has everything but speed. The rookie from Michigan State, picked on the 3rd round, comes in as a second tight end. By the way, that run by Curtis Brown of 30 yards was the longest rush from scrimmage for the Buffalo Bills this year. 2nd and 4 at the 13. Opening moment, 2nd quarter. Bills threatening to go up again. 7-0 Buffalo. Cribbs trying to go outside. Has McKenzie blocking for him, and he's going to make it for the touchdown. Reggie McKenzie paved the way, and Joe Cribbs has scored his 11th touchdown of the year. He went into this game tied with Billy Sims with 10. For Cribbs, it is his 10th touchdown rushing. He's caught 1 TD pass, and he gets a well-deserved hug from Jerry Butler, who made the key block on Brown a moment ago.
From the end zone, watch the power sweep. Watch 67 Reggie McKenzie. Watch the block he throws down about the 4-yard line right here. He wipes out 2 Atlanta Falcons. Cribbs goes in untouched. Joe coming off a 100-yard game last week as the Buffalo Bills put away the New England Patriots.
And it was a big game for him because he had fumbled 3 times against Miami the week before, was coming off a downer, and his teammates encouraged him, and he came back, and that's the mark of a good player. Nick Mickemeyer attempt the point after, Hum holding for the Bills. And the kick is perfect. So 9 seconds into the 2nd quarter, the Buffalo Bills score again, and that's got to put Atlanta into the hole, and we can expect Bartkowski to go to the air more as Buffalo leads Atlanta 14-0.
Here's another Radio Shack telephone sensation, and lucky you, it's on sale for only $39.88. Super small size, and the push-button dial has a memory button that automatically redials busy numbers. Of course, it has an extra long 16-foot cord. And watch this. Its hang-up is a put-down. You save even more when you own your own phone. And it's built and sold only by Radio Shack, your Christmas electronics store.
What happened to him?
He was in a car accident.
With a massive chest injury, fluid builds up, and that could suffocate a patient. Chest drainage is critical at this time. We use a system with a single collection jar made out of an almost shatterproof plastic developed by Phillips Petroleum.
Let's do another X-ray.
And that's important.
Because replacing broken jars takes time. And some patients don't have much time.
Phillips Petroleum. Good things for cars and the people who drive them.
Well, I guess Green Bay isn't the worst team in the league, and Pittsburgh may still have some problems.
Who do you think the folks in Houston are cheering for there? And in Cleveland, the Browns and the Bears tomorrow night.
There you're looking at Ray Strong, who's only 5'9", weighs 184 pounds. Anthony Anderson was tried earlier on 2 kickoffs, and Nickemeyer kicking off for the 3rd time in the game. It's short and over end. And it's going to be Strong, and I think they got their signals crossed. Anderson looked like he was going to field the kickoff, and Strong might have felt that way and bobbled it. But fortunately for the Falcons, they held on to the ball.
Dick, 3 times the Buffalo Bills have kicked off. 3 times the Atlanta Falcons have made mistakes that hurt them. The first time, Anthony Anderson fielded the ball in the end zone about 5 yards deep and ran it out when he shouldn't have. They started 1st and 10 from their own 13-yard line. Here's Nick Mickemeyer. He said, oh, nuts, we just missed recovering that ball and could have put him away a little bit early. The second time, Anderson fumbled the ball about the 5-yard line. They started with bad field position. This time they get a break.
But Atlanta does not have good field position. That's what they need at the 21-yard line. Play action, and Bartkowski going to the air, and he has an open man, Wallace Francis. Check that, Alfred Jenkins has a first down at the 45-yard line. So Alfred Jenkins, who has now caught a pass in 66 consecutive games, is brought down by Shane Nelson, the linebacker.
And that time, as you take a look at Alfred Jenkins walking back to the huddle, he did exactly what Butler on the other side's been doing for the Buffalo Bills. Turned around the corner man, Charles Rones from North Carolina Central, and it's a big first down for the Falcons, who, as we have told you, have not generally played well following an emotional win. Last week they upset the Rams on that last-minute touchdown toss, 13-10. They're tied with Los Angeles in the NFC West.
24-yard pickup. Jenkins leads the Falcons in yardage per catch. 1st and 10 at the 46. They need to drive more. Bartkowski is going deep, and it's up for grabs. Incomplete. Intended for Junior Miller, who went downfield. Steve Freeman defending on the play. Miller was not a starter this year. He reported to camp late, was a holdout, had a dislocated finger. McKeska was the starting tight end when the season began, but he has progressed so fast. Junior Miller, the top tight end picked, 7th player chosen. So it'll be 2nd and 10 now at the 46-yard line, and coming in the game, Rufus Bess for the Buffalo Bills at the nickel defense, and Mike Kadish comes in as a 4th down lineman.
Hard not to find Junior Miller, 6'4", 235 when he's rambling down there. That time Bartkowski looking at him the whole way. Had he looked off though, Dick, Wallace Francis was open down at the 30-yard line.
Miller wide left. They use him now as a wide receiver. Alfred Jenkins split to the right, and Wallace Francis in the slot. Pressure on Bartkowski, and down he goes. Fred Smerlas, number 76, and you don't expect the nose tackle to make the sack. But someone else opened the way for Fred Smerlas, who some people are saying may be the top nose tackle in the National Football League right now.
6'3", 270, loops. They had a stunt on, comes from the right side. Bartkowski's looking to the left side, and in the grasp of Mr. Smerlas, as in Fred, and down he goes. The 2nd-year man from Boston College, and he's a good one. Another look.
You'll see the pressure, and let's see, Kadish, and they had a game on. They switched, and Smerlas came in. No one picked him up, and I think Dave Scott was the guilty party that forgot to pick up Fred Smerlas, so a loss on the play. It is 3rd and 20. And the whistle blows. The play does not count. The whistle blew. There's a penalty marker downfield in the secondary.
Got to be delay of game.
That's what it is. Delay of game called against Atlanta. So it'll be 3rd and 25, and now Bartkowski doesn't have much to choose from, and perhaps to just get out of some deep trouble and kick the ball away.
Delay of the game. Offense.
3rd and 25.
3rd down.
Well, last week,
cut on Bartkowski's nose.
Last week in this situation, he went to Wallace Francis on 3rd and 48, and then that touchdown toss that you showed us at the beginning of the telecast to Alfred Jackson as they beat the Rams on 2 plays.
Rufus Bess is a 5th defensive back. Kadish is in there along with Smerlas at tackles. And so far, it looks like the 4-down line arrangement has worked for the Buffalo Bills. Francis 89 and Jackson 85, along with Alfred Jenkins, number 84, the wide receiver. 3rd and 25. Bills look for pass. Put on some good pressure. Bartkowski fires, and it is low and incomplete. The pass intended for Jenkins. Charles Romes covering on the play, and it'll be 4th down, and the Falcons just can't get it going. They had that one successful pass to Jenkins, downfield, and that's all. And so John James will come in and punt for the second time.
And as Dick pointed out, good pressure by the front four of the Buffalo Bills. Going back to that Rams game last week, Dick, one of the problems the Los Angeles Rams had, I felt as I watched the game, the fact that they went with just 3 rushers. You go to the nickel defense, you put in all the secondary men, you put absolutely no pressure on a passer of Bartkowski's ability. He's going to find the open man, but the Buffalo Bills have been rushing 4, and they've been getting away with it, getting some good heat, and the quarterback sack, the key in that drive.
The snap pass, then James kick. You saw Cribbs deep. He's at the 29. Tries to make an outside move, and coming in and hitting him there, number 27, Tom Pridemore. But the Bills will start from the 30-yard line. And it's been a Buffalo ball game thus far, 14-0. Ferguson to Frank Lewis, an 11-yard touchdown pass in the first quarter. And on the first play of the second, Cribbs ran 13 yards. That's our score with 12:55 remaining in the half.
Introducing the Cougar XR7. It's available with more than 60 special features that let you create something special. The Cougar XR7 from Lincoln Mercury. It's not like everybody else's car.
On nuclear proliferation, a candidate must remember what he has said.
When Governor Reagan has been asked about that, he makes a very disturbing comment that non-proliferation or the control of the spread of nuclear weapons is none of our business.
I have never made the statement that he suggested about nuclear proliferation.
I just don't think that it's any of our business. Unilaterally, the United States seemed to be the only nation in the world.
Which Ronald Reagan should we believe?
Monday on Flo, Crooked Farley's running for office, and Flo's about to run him out of the Yellow Rose.
Farley's never met a man whose money he didn't like.
Monday on the new season of Flo.
You're looking at the Buffalo sideline. Chuck Knox is the head coach. There's one of the assistants with the headset on right now. At the 36-yard line, 1st and 10. Curtis Brown, who ran 30 yards earlier, is hemmed in and will barely get back to the line of scrimmage. Ferguson so far is 5 for 6 for 71 yards and 1 touchdown. And right now he has the Falcons' Jim guessing because he is running when they expect him to pass and vice versa.
You mentioned that this is the 3rd meeting between the Falcons and the Buffalo Bills. In the 2 previous meetings, even though Joe Ferguson comes in here with a 58% pass completion ratio, both of the games against the Falcons he was held to under 100 yards passing.
Good point. Jerry Butler, number 80, wide left. The only wide receiver split for Ferguson. 2nd and 8 at the 33. Play action to Cribbs, and then the pass. Butler has it at the 35. Hit immediately. Another first down. And guess to which side? As Jim has been pointing out, accurately, Kenny Johnson, number 37 side. And he's getting more help over there now. 12-yard pickup.
Rick Bias, 38, the man this time that was laying off. You take a look, the 7-year veteran from Wayne State, 5'9", 180, playing exactly the way Kenny Johnson is, laying 5-6 yards off Jerry Butler. You cannot do that. Another Buffalo Bill first down. Ferguson, the hot hand early.
Bias had a broken wrist early in the season. Achilles tendon injuries last year in his 7th year, and has played safety as well as cornerback. 1st and 10 at the 45. Cribbs. Outside, and watch Joe Cribbs put on the speed, and we'll have a penalty at midfield and maybe holding against the Buffalo Bills. We'll wait. Joe Cribbs turning the corner and showing the speed he has at 5'11", 190 pounds.
Baltimore has just gone out in front over Kansas City in Kansas City. Burt Jones, a touchdown pass of 7 yards to Don McCauley. And Kansas City led it 3-0 on a Nick Lowry field goal. Since then, the Colts have scored 2 touchdowns at 14-3 in the second quarter. Colts over the Chiefs.
That holding penalty will nullify a good run by Cribbs. It would have been a first down. And let's pick it up from Chuck Heberling what the penalty is. It's holding.
Holding. Offense, number 82. First down.
Frank Lewis, the wide receiver, was holding downfield. As you look at the score that Jim has just mentioned, Colts leading Kansas City. They were upset by St. Louis last week. 1st and 15 now at the 40. Butler split left, Frank Lewis wide right. 14-0. The Bills lead the Falcons. Plenty of time to go second quarter. Plenty of time. Over the top. It's complete to the tight end, Reuben Gant. And they get some of that yardage back.
First time that Ferguson has called Reuben Gant's number 88 this time in the ballgame. 6'4", 225, the outstanding tight end.
He's had knee problems, and that's why he's been limited. And so Mark Bramer, who started his first game ever as a rookie last week against New England, has seen a lot of action. Bramer, number 86, replaced him. Buddy Curry made the tackle. 2nd and 7 at the 48. Ron Jesse, number 81, comes in now. So 3 wide receivers for the Bills at 2nd and 7. Out of the shotgun, as the Bills do on long yardage. Penalty marker down, pass complete to Jesse. His second reception of the game, but a penalty marker down back where Ferguson was unleashing. Buddy Curry makes the tackle, and we have another holding penalty, the second in the series against the Bills. First one was against Frank Lewis.
Ferguson is hot. Offensive line giving him lots of time to throw. Maybe the holding is a reason for some of that time. Ferguson in his previous 2 games against the Atlanta Falcons, 15 of 33 for about 45% completion ratio. No touchdowns, 191 yards in the 2 games, and he had thrown 1 interception. But the key stat for the Buffalo Bills.
Holding. Offense, number 20. 3rd down.
This was Joe Cribbs. So trying to see number 20, Joe Cribbs, holding in the backfield. And there, I think, on the upper part of your screen, you saw him as Al Richardson, the linebacker, was held on the play by Joe Cribbs, number 20, and you got a good view of it there as the penalty was called.
Cribbs kind of had his arms wrapped around Richardson.
2nd and 17 at the 38 now.
Interesting, Dick. 2 holding calls against the Bills, one on a wide receiver, the other on a running back. You don't see that.
You expect the offensive line to be guilty there. And here's a draw play to Joe Cribbs, cutting his way, trying to find room. He gets to the 38-yard line. It'll be 3rd and about 15. And fumble as well. Did the whistle blow?
That Pittsburgh score now. Terry Bradshaw, 6-yard touchdown pass to Lynn Swann. First time that both have been healthy since early in the season. Again, the Steelers have lost 3 in a row. That's the first time that has happened since 1976.
Both sides are pointing. The Falcons and the Bills saying they've recovered. Haven't gotten an official call yet from Chuck Heverly, but apparently Atlanta has recovered. Their offensive team is coming back on. I still haven't seen the official call.
Well, the public address announcer thought he saw it. They have given it over to the Atlanta Falcons.
Now they make the signal. So this is going to be Atlanta's best opportunity at the Buffalo 40-yard line. They have been totally stymied thus far by Buffalo's defense. 14-0 as you look at Tampa Bay leading the Giants. So it's 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line. 10:20 remaining in the second quarter. Falcons have come back before. In motion, Lynn Kane with 1 setback. Bartkowski, Junior Miller, and it's intercepted. Pass intercepted by Steve Freeman, the strong safety. And Freeman, trying to get loose, is still going. And he's out of bounds at the 20, and that's the 2nd interception of the game as Bartkowski complaining to Chuck Heverly. So Freeman, who intercepted 2 of Steve Grogan's passes last week, picks off one of Bartkowski's this time. It was intended for Junior Miller and badly overthrown.
Bartkowski is still complaining. He's all the way down at about the 20-yard line, maintaining that Francis might have been held up. The ball was badly overthrown, and maybe that is why. At least Bartkowski thinks so. Bills ball when we come right back.
Hold it. Hey, guys. All right, stop fooling around. Calm down. Hold it down. I mean, this is the first Light Beer alumni picture, okay? A little respect. All right, everybody here?
Everybody who is somebody.
Oh, very clever. All right, smile, will you?
Knock it off, Billy. You need this job.
Are you guys ready? Hold it. Hold it. Stay like that. Hold it. Now. Just be yourselves. Calm down. Calm down. Hold it.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
That your dad? What's he doing?
Selling insurance.
Oh, what kind?
Nationwide.
Why?
Because he likes to sell good stuff.
Oh.
My mom's a nationwide agent, too.
Really?
She likes to help people.
Well, nationwide agents like to offer blanket protection for people's lives, health, homes, cars, businesses.
He cooks good hot dogs, too.
And they cook good hot dogs, too.
Nationwide is on your side.
Hi, I'm Joe Theismann. Don't remain on the sidelines this election day. Get out and vote for the candidates of your choice. Remember, your vote can make a difference. Thank you.
Steve Bartkowski was complaining to Chuck Heberling. Probably thought that Junior Miller was held, but it didn't appear that way. Just a bad pass, and so the Bills get the ball right back. 1st and 10 on their 22-yard line. 2 interceptions today. Ferguson with a 14-0 lead. Curtis Brown slides off a couple of tacklers and gets 2 or 3 yards.
Did most of that on his own. Take a look at that Chargers score now. They're at approaching halftime. And that's a big ball game for the Cincinnati Bengals. That black and blue division in the AFC. Of course, the Steelers, they're having their problems with Green Bay Packers this afternoon. The Browns play the Chicago Bears tomorrow night. That's on CBS Radio.
2nd and 6 at the 26-yard line. Reuben Gant, Mark Bramer, 2 tight ends. With 9:34 remaining in the first half. It's been all Buffalo, offensively and defensively. Here's Cribbs trying to go outside. Gets by one linebacker and then is tripped up. So good pursuit by the Atlanta defense. And Cribbs is out of there at about the 25-yard line. It'll be 3rd. And a 6 yards. Rick Bias forcing the play from his right cornerback spot, along with Jim Laughlin, who's playing in place of the injured Fulton Kuykendall, who has a shoulder injury. They expect him to be out 2 more weeks. Laughlin, one of those 3 rookies that Jim Kelly talked about at the start of the ball game, a 4th-round draft choice from Ohio State.
3rd and shotgun time, perhaps 3rd and Jerry Butler time. Rick Bias, 38, is in at the right corner, replacing the rookie Kenny Johnson.
In motion comes Jerry Butler. 3rd and 7. Ferguson over the middle, almost intercepted off Laughlin's hand, intended for Jerry Butler. And so the rookie we were just talking about from Ohio State had an opportunity for an interception. So it's 4th down, and Greg Cater will punt for the first time in the ball game as Green Bay has regained the lead over the Pittsburgh Steelers 14-9. Cater will kick.
Lynn Dickey, a 70-yard touchdown pass to Jerry Ellis. Before that, he had one of 7 yards to Jerry Ellis.
Cater has had a rough season, but last week kicked over 36 yards against the wind. They tried to block it. Bias came in. A high kick. Rollin Lawrence is at the 41-yard line, and white shirts dump him inside the 40 at the 39-yard line. Charles Romes was the first man to get to him. So good pursuit by the Buffalo Bills, and thus far you'd have to say that the Bills are playing the crisper football in every phase of the game. We have 9 minutes and 11 seconds to go in the first half, and it'll be Atlanta ball when we come back in a moment.
Motorcraft for sure. Motorcraft for sure.
How do you make the great lineup of Motorcraft parts even better? You've already got batteries with sure power, hot firing spark plugs, and a full line of filters. So how do you make it better? Just add oil. Introducing Motorcraft Oil, formulated to stabilize oxidation and reduce wear. Rated SF, it meets the most advanced engineering standards set for the 80s. You can be sure of it.
Motorcraft for sure.
Hi, I'm Fran Tarkenton with a great new game. It's Kenner's fantastic new live-action football. It sure beats those old blips and dots games. Play the computer or a friend. You see and control all the action. You see the tackles, you make them. There are interceptions, conversions, safeties. Live-action football makes me feel I'm back in the game. Who says I can't win the big one, huh, guys? Electronic live-action football, new from Kenner.
Live, undefeated champion Hilmer Kenty blasts away with Villamar Fernandez for the WBA Lightweight Championship. Next Saturday, 4:30 Eastern on the CBS Sports Spectacular.
Lehman Bennett, who of course has worked under Chuck Knox in Kentucky, Detroit, assistant with him in Los Angeles. Opposing coaches today, 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line for the Falcons. 14-0. And nothing up the middle for William Andrews. Sherman White was right there. The Falcons cannot get anything going on the ground. And of course, when that happens, the Bills know, and they've been using really the 4-down lineman nickel back defense more than anything else today. That really cuts down your options.
Last week, when the Buffalo Bills blew out the New England Patriots 31-13, they held New England to just 148 yards overall, but only 39 yards on the ground.
70 yards for Oakland rushing, 38 against with New Orleans, 86 San Diego. They specialize in holding teams under 100. You're right. 2nd and 19. A quarterback draw. Bartkowski. Smirlis makes the stop. Did not look like a mix-up. Like Bartkowski had called that play. Maybe he saw something up the middle. In any event, it didn't work.
Remember that little old tie maker used to kick for the Miami Dolphins? Well, he's still kicking down in Florida, Garo Yepremian. This time 22 yards, but this time for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're out in front over the Giants 10-0, and that's in the second quarter. Kansas City has just come back against the Baltimore Colts. Colts with 2 touchdown tosses by Burt Jones led it 14-3. It's now 14-10.
Alfred Jackson, number 85, in at wide receiver. Miller comes out. So Bartkowski at 3rd and 8 at the 43 has 3 wide receivers, trailing 14-0. And he's going to go deep down the middle for Wallace Francis. And Buffalo has intercepted again. The Bills have intercepted again at the 10-yard line. Mario Clark. And I believe that is Clark's first interception of the season. Let's check and see.
Take another look. Look at the good pass protection this time for Steve Bartkowski, who again goes for all of it, goes for the bomb. He had his other wide receiver open at about the 40-yard line, but double teamed down there, and the big INT for the Buffalo Bills. Another turnover as Clark comes up with it. Number 29 for the Buffalo Bills, and Joe Ferguson and company operate 1st and 10 at their own 11-yard line.
And he predicted last night that he would get his first interception. So the Bills have it 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line. Third interception of the ball game for the Bills. 17th of the season. In motion, Frank Lewis. Ferguson spins and gives to Cribbs. And he's thrown for a loss. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League, and it is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Buffalo Bills and the National Football League is prohibited.
Dick, actually, the front 3 of the Atlanta Falcons has been doing a pretty good job defensively on Joe Cribbs this afternoon.
14-10, you saw the score there. 7 minutes and 15 seconds to go in the half. 2nd and 11. This is where Atlanta would like to force a mistake and somehow, some way get on the board before this half is over. Cribbs gets the call. Goes outside. Nothing again. Penalty marker down. We may have a holding call against Buffalo. They've been charged with 2 holding penalties thus far. That could put him in the hole, Jim.
One of them called on Joe Cribbs, but this time you know it will not be he.
No. Otherwise, we've got a scoop.
There's Reggie McKenzie, number 67, the 9-year veteran from Michigan, who threw that devastating block on the touchdown carry by Joe Cribbs.
Might be on the wide receiver. We'll check and wait and see.
Kenny Johnson. You wonder why they don't double team over on the left side. This time coming out it's Gary Butler, because obviously you double team Butler. That leaves Frank Lewis wide open. He's already got 1 touchdown reception this afternoon.
3 wide receivers out of the shotgun. 3rd and 8 at the 13. And an inside handoff to Roland Hooks, who gets to the 15-yard line. The 3rd down specialist. Inside handoff off the shotgun. Doesn't get anything.
Actually, an interesting play call there. The Bills and Chuck Knox, their brain strategists upstairs, decided to keep it on the ground, not risk the interception, not want to risk a turnover and change maybe the momentum of the game, Dick, because you've got it 14-0. You can back them up about midfield. Why risk a turnover?
Kick almost blocked. Roland Lawrence calls for a fair catch at the 46. Penalty marker down, and they'll call roughing the kicker against Greg Cater. Roughing the kicker against Greg Cater in Atlanta. All over referee Chuck Heberling. We'll see whether he gets an Oscar for this or whether it was.
Well, you really can't
running into the kicker too.
You really can't blame Atlanta for complaining, because Heberling took about 10 seconds before he threw the flag and thought it over. Take another look and watch how long Heberling waits before he throws the flag. He's watching every possible movement. All right.
Pridemore.
Still no flag.
I'd have to think that he got a.
Still no flag.
Defense, 1st down.
Tough break for the Atlanta Falcons. You'll see it again as they came in to try to block the kick. Pridemore, and I'm sure Cater, when he saw Pridemore near him, helped the situation. There's the penalty there, and it was, you're right, it was several seconds after he hit the ball. So Buffalo maintains possession. 1st and 10 at the 21-yard line. Bramer and Reuben Gant are twin tight ends now.
Falcons have thrown 3 interceptions. They made one costly mistake there. The Bills get it back again.
They've done everything wrong, but they're trailing 14-0. Joe Cribbs tries to get something down the middle, and there's nothing. I've seen the Falcons earlier this year trail, and if they get good field position and can get on the board, that would change the complexion here. But the way the game is going, Buffalo is dominating and more than what the 14-0 score indicates to it.
Well, again, though, the 3-4 defense, the front 3 of the Falcons and the 4 linebackers, they've been doing their job except for the 1 touchdown carry by Joe Cribb that put Buffalo out on top by a score of 14-0. It's been the secondary, as we said at the top of the telecast, that's been burned as you look at the stats on Joe Cribb, the rookie from Auburn.
2nd and 9 at the 22.
Bills haven't gotten much running inside.
Ferguson's been able to throw. He does there to Butler. Completion. It'll be 3rd and about 5 yards to go. Rollin Lawrence covering on the play. So it's 3rd and 5. We have plenty of time remaining. 5 minutes and 35 seconds to go in the first half. Ferguson threw a TD pass to Frank Lewis, 11 yards in the first quarter, and Joe Cribbs ran 13 yards the first play of the second period for the 14-0 score. Ron Jesse at number 81 comes in along with Roland Hooks 25, which is the normal shotgun offense. There's Jesse, a veteran from Kansas. He's getting single coverage. Ferguson, 3rd and 5. Lewis has it, first down at the 40-yard line, and a fumble after the catch. Buffalo apparently maintains possession, so Ferguson clicking on the 3rd down play. Buddy Curry and Rick Bias combined to make the stop, a 15-yard pickup, and when the Bills have needed it, they have gotten it on the 3rd passing situation.
Again, one-on-one single coverage that time. Take another look. 82 is Frank Lewis, 1 touchdown toss already. Ferguson from the shotgun. Look at the good pass protection by the offensive line of the Bills. Rifle arm right on the money, and right there, a simple turn-in route, and Bias makes the tackle. That time the linebacker is supposed to drop back a little bit, but they just couldn't do the job quick enough, and it's another Buffalo first down.
So right, Ferguson has gotten tremendous protection. Falcons came in with 26 sacks this year. They only had 29 last year. On a reverse, here's Jerry Butler, wide receiver. He turns it on. Butler has a first down and finally is knocked out of bounds by Tom Pridemore and Rollin Lawrence. But you saw Jerry Butler with that great speed. Top rookie, as we mentioned last year in the AFC, scored 4 touchdowns against the Jets, and he has given the Bills a 1st and 10. 19-yard gain, and we'll see it again.
And that's a good call on first down because they've been running Joe Cribb up the middle. Now watch Butler right here. He simply outruns the blockers and outruns the Atlanta defense as he crosses midfield and gets it down to about the 42-yard line of the Atlanta Falcons. Frank Lewis with a key block helping him to turn the corner over there on the right side.
At the 41 of Atlanta, 1st and 10 for Buffalo, leading 14-0. Here's Curtis Brown trying to pick up some blockers. Laughlin, among others, made the hit. The running game has been virtually non-existent in this game. It's been the passing game. Ferguson has had the protection and he's clicked. Bartkowski hasn't. He's thrown the 3 interceptions.
You look at the way that Joe Ferguson uses Frank Lewis, and also he uses Jerry Butler. It reminds you of the way Terry Bradshaw uses Lynn Swann and John Stallworth.
Talking with Eddie LeBaron, the Falcons general manager, the whole game is down in distance and scoreboard. If you have the lead, you can pretty much do what you want. If you have 2nd and 3, you're in good shape. But when you start from your own 15 or 20 and it's 3rd and long, you've got trouble. 2nd and 6 now at the 37. Lewis. Cribbs is open. Penalty marker down. Cribbs has it, hit immediately at the 32, short of a first down. Making the tackle was Joel Williams, number 58, but as we said, a penalty marker down. Illegal procedure called against Buffalo, so that'll bring it back.
Joe Cribbs, by the way, outstanding runner, as we have told you, but he also can catch the football. He's already caught more passes this year than he did in his last 3 years at Auburn, and he's caught at least 3 passes in all but 1 game so far this year. Ferguson not at all happy with the illegal procedure call. You saw the change in the offensive shift, the audible line.
Illegal formation, offense, 2 men moving. Second down.
Canadian football, so we're close to Canada, but not that close. And so it'll be 2nd and 11 now at the 42-yard line. I was amazed that Andrews didn't really know much about Cribbs. He blocked for him for a couple of years, and we were told that they weren't close at all. They didn't know each other at all, and perhaps the only thing they did on the field together was one blocked and the other ran. 2nd and 11 at the 42. 3:15 remaining in the first half. 14-0 Bills. Play action and a good rush. Pass to Cribbs. Good catch by Cribbs. He's inside the 40. Cribbs is out of bounds. Buddy Curry got the jersey and might have saved the first down right there, but he's awfully close. Short by about 1.5 yards, and he made a good catch on this, Jim.
3 good plays in one. Watch right here. Key to the play, Joe Ferguson eludes the rush. Second key, Joe Cribbs inside move, goes to the outside, and then number 80 comes back and throws a key block right there to allow Cribbs to get it down near first down yardage. 3rd and short for the Buffalo Bills.
And he was in trouble. The Falcons blitzing more than they have in previous games. Put the pressure on. And that was looked like Bias coming in, number 38, on a safety blitz. So it'll be 3rd and less than 1 yard for the Bills with 3:07 to go. 2 tight ends, Gant and Bremer in there now, and up the middle. Looked like Roosevelt Leaks, who's been a great addition to the Buffalo Bills, apparently has the first down. Leaks, ex-Baltimore Colt, in there for blocking in short yardage, may have that first down. Picked up on waivers this year from the Colts, and the Bills have it 1st and 10 at the 30.
Roosevelt Leaks, 45 carries, 166 yards. As you see, 1 touchdown. Average is about 3.7 when he has been in there. It's been basically, as Dick called it, on short yardage situations.
So it's 1st and 10 at the 30. 14-0. The Bills lead. Threatening again. Jerry Butler wide left. Frank Lewis split right. Cribbs going wide. Curtis Brown blocking. Cribbs cuts inside and dives for a couple. Gets maybe 3 yards on the play. Jim Laughlin, number 51, the rookie from Ohio State, makes the stop. Joe Cribbs last week going over 100 yards, as Jim mentioned, for the first time this year with 118. He was the first player picked in the 2nd round. He was the 29th player selected. And a lot of clubs wish that perhaps they had gone his way, you think?
No question about it.
2 wide receivers, both to the left. 2nd and 7 at the 27. Now Lewis moves. Here 2 minutes to go. Curtis Brown cuts inside, and Brown is within 2 yards of a first down, and we will have our 2-minute warning coming up. Against the grain running today, we think we've seen it from Cribbs and also Curtis Brown, who ran 30 yards on 1 play from scrimmage. And now the Buffalo Bills are short up by 1 yard. It'll be 3rd and 1 when we come back. We have our 2-minute warning. It's been all Buffalo leading the Falcons 14-0 here at Orchard Park.
You don't have to be a genius to change your own oil and filter and save yourself up to $10. Valvoline Motor Oil shows you exactly how quick and easy it is with step-by-step change instructions on the back of Valvoline cans. It's really quite simple. Once you get the hang of it, just see for yourself, then do for yourself. No wonder more and more drivers are changing their own oil and filters and changing to Valvoline. It's a smart way to save up to 10 bananas without a lot of monkeying around. Right, Val?
I'm Mike Colbreaker, State Farm agent, Carlisle, Illinois, speaking for thousands of State Farm agents across the country. One of the many reasons people keep coming to State Farm Insurance is because we service what we sell, and we do it on a personal, one-to-one basis. Service is what State Farm is all about, and service is what State Farm agents are all about.
And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Monday on Flo, Crooked Farley's running for office, and Flo's about to run him out of the Yellow Rose.
Farley's never met a man whose money he didn't like.
Monday on the new season of Flo.